They left him behind, declared him dead, listed his name in the war memorials. But he was still breathing, buried beneath alien soil, broken bones and bleeding lungs, with nothing but a knife and fury to keep him alive. The aliens thought the fight was over, that one human couldn't matter. But he wasn't just a soldier, he was a survivor. And now he's coming home through hell, fire, and every one of them that stands in his way. They marked him Kia, killed in action. His name, Corporal Elias Vance, was etched onto the wall of the fallen at Fort Darwin at the side. A brief ceremony. Salutes. Folded flags. His mother wept, unaware her son was still breathing, trapped beneath 3 meters of collapsed ferrocrete and alien ash on a forgotten moon named Vectra 9. The battle had gone wrong from the start. The Jaru Collective lured the human platoon into a false surrender. White banners raised, weapons dropped, and then unleashed plasma mines hidden beneath the dirt. Most died instantly. The rest were executed. Vance was the only one who fell into a sinkhole during the blast, broken, buried, and forgotten. But Elias Vance didn't die. His legs were shattered. His left eye ruptured. Oxygen reserves critical. Medpacks crushed in the fall. Yet somehow, he clawed his way to a pocket of breathable air. Hours blurred into days. No rescue came. He knew the truth. Command believed no one had survived. Reinforcements wouldn't risk another ambush. Vectra 9 was lost. So Vance improvised. He dug. Every inch clawed through dirt and blood cost him strength, but he moved. When he couldn't crawl, he dragged. When his limbs failed, he used his teeth. The Jaru patrols didn't even scan the lower levels. Why would they? Humans weren't supposed to survive that kind of detonation. But humans have always done what they weren't supposed to do. On the 7th day, he surfaced, thin, filthy, and burning with fever. He found a dead Jaru scout, still warm. He took the armor, the weapons, the translator chip, and the food. Vance didn't hesitate. He did what soldiers do, he adapted. The Jaru called Vectra 9 a forward triage world, a way station for wounded and supplies. That made it a target-rich environment. Vance became a ghost in the dark, slipping through vents, stealing rations, sabotaging communications. He carved marks into stone walls with a sharpened tooth of bone, each one a message in old Earth script. I'm still here. The Jaru began to whisper, of something hunting them. First it was one missing sentry, then 3, then entire patrols. Security footage showed only glimpses, a blur of human armor stained with dust and blood, a shadow moving through blast smoke. They increased their presence, sent heavier troops, brought in hounds from their breeding pits. It didn't matter. Vance had learned every tunnel, every blind spot, every routine. He used their technology against them, jammed scanners, rerouted drones, turned their own defense systems into traps. He didn't fight for territory. He fought to survive, to send a message, to remind them that humans don't die easy. Then, on the 30th day, he found something worse. A prison. Human POWs, dozens of them, caged in energy cells. Used for experiments. Starved. Tortured. Some had no faces left. Others had their minds broken and rebuilt. One girl, barely 20, looked at him with eyes that didn't blink. He broke the cages. Carried 3 on his back. Gave his own rations to the smallest. He taught them how to fight, how to crawl through fire, how to be human again. Together, they became an army of shadows. What the Jaru failed to understand was simple. Elias Vance should have died. But when death refused him, he became something far more dangerous. Purpose. The group struck harder now. Coordinated. Guerrilla raids on convoys. Medical supplies redistributed. Enemy commanders disappeared in the night. Messages were broadcast on stolen frequencies. We are not dead. We are coming. Back on Earth, strange reports began to reach Central Command. Malfunctioning Jaru signals, encrypted human pings from a dead zone, whispers of a ghost unit wreaking havoc. Most dismissed it. A few didn't. Among them, Colonel Sarai Dunn, Vance's former CO. She didn't believe in ghosts, but she knew his voice. She authorized a recon team, off the record. They arrived at Vectra 9 to find fire in the sky. Jaru warships burning in low orbit. Ground stations abandoned or smoking ruins. And standing atop the scorched platform of Outpost Gamma, Elias Vance, holding a Jaru commander by the throat, blood soaking his hands, his face a patchwork of scars and defiance. The recon team didn't speak. They didn't salute. They just stood in silence, as one of their own proved what no one had dared believe. Vance didn't speak either, not at first. He just pointed to the cages behind him, where over 50 humans stood free, barely clothed, eyes hollow but alive. Then he said one word, his voice hoarse from smoke and silence. Home. They brought him back in silence. No parades. No cameras. Officially, he was still dead. But word spread. In the barracks. In the mess halls. Across the colonies. Vance's name returned, not as a number on a wall, but as a symbol etched into armor, whispered before battle. He had no superpowers. No cybernetic miracles. Just will. Just rage. Just a refusal to let the enemy decide when he died. Years later, the Jaru offered a treaty. Ceasefire terms. Apologies wrapped in protocol. Humanity considered it, but on one condition. They sent one diplomat. Just one. Elias Vance. The Jaru delegation flinched when he entered, alive, standing, eyes full of memory. He didn't threaten them. He didn't shout. He simply placed a single item on the table, a dog tag melted around a broken tooth. You thought I was dead, he said. That was your mistake. The treaty was signed in silence. Now his story is told in boot camp, not as legend, but as warning. Never underestimate the human will to survive. Never assume we're finished. Because the moment you think we're gone, that's the moment we rise. And somewhere, on some cold battlefield, when a soldier stares at the sky, wounded and alone, he remembers Elias Vance, the lone human who refused to die.